Happy Thankful Thursday, May 28th, and welcome to another episode of Style by Stevie. We are back with none other than a dear friend of the show, and this makes his, I want to say, fifth appearance here on Style by Stevie. Welcome back to the
Somewhere around there.
Dollhouse, award-winning actor Christian Barber.
Good to be back.
Yes, yes, yes. It's so great to have you back. We got a lot to catch up on in just a little bit of time. And I can't keep Christian Fashion Dolls. As you're just coming in, make sure that you hit that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure that you also hit that bell so you'll be notified when new shows are posted. Because I'll be doing my shows over here. I got into a little bit of a kerfuffle, shall I say, the last time I did my last conversation with Christian. The
Mm,
last time that would have been on IG sometime back in 2020, 2025 was our
hmm
last conversation. We haven't really done anything in 2026, but as you all know, so much has happened from then to now. And to make a long story short, I said some very colorful things about Megyn Kelly. As we all know, she came for Beyonce, she came for Michelle Obama, and that didn't sit too well with me. So, knowing me, I'm not going to bite my tongue because I'm just like, okay, these are prominent black women that you're coming from. So, Instagram said, you know what, we're going to put her in jail for about a year. So I gotta
mm.
wait this thing out until November of this year, 2026. Shout outs to my colleague Bubs to God. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you guys please go and subscribe to my colleague Bubs. You guys have been waiting for Christian because they have been DMing me about you. They have been asking, are you gonna have him back on? I said, yes, we're already working on.
I'm
So
here.
before we get into the madness, how have you been doing since our last chat?
Excellent, excellent. Thank you. Excellent.
Yes,
We just got a
yes,
new puppy.
yes.
Oldest just turned 12 years old. Listen, we moving forward in this world.
Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. How have you been staying centered around all of the madness? We'll dive into that a little later, but how have you been
Absolutely. I mean,
staying centered? Because yeah,
it's
go
I'm
ahead.
very fortunate to have three amazing kids and a very supportive, amazing wife. So I got people to keep me centered and keep a bullshit shield around me. So and I'll be honest with you, I've always had an ability to diagnose the situation for what it is. You know what I mean? And I think in turbulent times, the most important thing is to control your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Is to not allow yourself to be put on the treadmill of negative thought and of where we're going with this, is what's going to happen in this world. Like I've since the last time we talked, the main focus for me is how do I lead my kids into a world that has productivity and a future in it. You know what I'm saying? And inclusion and creativity and the things that are currently trying to be destroyed. How do I raise people that value that and contribute to that world to furthering to make sure that we keep that going? That's been my focus.
Absolutely. I don't know if my colleague Bubs the God is still here, but that's something that he said in his interview with one of my other colleagues, K Toops. Shout out to my brother K Toops. They just did a recent interview together. And that was something that K Toops asked him. How do you stay centered amongst all of the chaos? How do you manage and navigate with the world when the world literally is burning on fire? And it's gonna take as you all know, elections took place down here in the Carolinas. They're still going on up until June 5th. Make sure that you're registered to vote. Get out and vote. Definitely. I did my Tuesday was when it kicked off, May 26th. So make
Hmm.
sure that you are registered to vote. We saw exactly what they pulled back in 2024 when me and Christian sat together and warned you. That was my 700th episode where we sat and we warned you what would come. They purged voters off of the rolls. They set ballot boxes on fire. So make sure that you are ready and set to go. And as you can see right now, they are redistricting and gerrymandering left and right. Ken Paxton won in Texas. And we know that Ken Paxton is not wrapped too tight, shall I say. He, in Texas, they created a detransition clinic for trans youth. Yeah, we can't make this stuff up. This is real. And this is all behind Ken Paxton. hmm and it's Ken Paxton versus James Tallarico. Keep in mind that James Tallarico called a black man mediocre. So I just want y'all to think about that. This is where we're at right now. It's to erase anything that is black and brown in this country. They don't want us in positions, not even in power. So to let everybody know, make sure that you're registered and ready to go. It was amazing to see black people down here in the Carolinas get up and get motivated and fired up to go to those polls and vote. Christian, when I tell you, it literally brought me so much joy to see my people, our people in
Hmm.
South Carolina, because we do as we always do. Show up in the polls, fed up the same way I'm fed up.
Hmm.
And the line wasn't even long. It was maybe like 5 people at first. And I'm pretty sure that as the days progress, everybody's going to hurry up for those June primaries and try to get their early voting in. So make sure
Hmm.
if you're in South Carolina or wherever you're at, Texas,
Same
Alabama,
thing here.
we saw that.
It's June 2nd here.
Yes, make sure that y'all are ready. Make sure that
Hmm.
y'all are ready to go. Shout outs to each and every one of y'all. Y'all did what needed to be done in this primary election. But I'm not too pleased. But I mean, of course, it's Texas, and then that part of Georgia, the way y'all voted for the two conservative Supreme Court justices, we already knew. We already knew. I mean, it's
Well,
it's a no
it's just
brainer
such
how you
a,
guys are going.
yeah.
Go ahead, Christian.
No, it's just it's interesting to me always how the different parts of the country have these different political battles. Like out here, it's a mess. It's but you got to get out on June 2nd, and we got to make sure that we keep things moving forward. I mean, that's the theme right now. Absolutely. You know, when I was a kid, we used to go South
Yes.
Carolina to Charleston every summer and have family reunions over
Wait a minute, that's where my brother is. I didn't know
there.
that. I didn't know you
Hmm.
have family in the Carolinas, but that's where my brother is, my youngest brother now. And yes, shout outs to him. He also served as well too in the military. So shout outs to my brother, my and hopefully he'll be coming down sometime this week. But
Hmm.
Charleston, things are going up. The price of living is going up. I remember I talked on the phone with my uncle, and he was at the gas station and he was saying, God damn, these gas prices are so high. And I didn't say anything because see,
Hmm.
that was something that we warned about. My mom as well too. I remember sitting down with her, my grandmother, and my aunt and having the discussion about Project 2025. You guys are starting to feel the impacts of what you voted for. And it's not unfortunate because you guys voted for this. And then you will be so quick to come and tell us, "Oh, I didn't vote for this. I didn't want this, but this is exactly what you voted for."
Hmm.
Are we great yet? That's the question that I keep asking. Are we great yet? Because this is what's going to happen right now. 1.8, not $1, but 1.8 is going to go to these insurrectionists who stormed a Capitol. And we saw this in real time with our very own two eyes. I can tell you where I was, what date and time it was. It was exactly 4 o'clock p.m. in the afternoon. And I was doing an interview with Nico Love. So Christian Nico turns his camera, pans his camera around to the television, and we see these crazy ass Trump supporters scaling the wall to get into the Capitol. And y'all want our hard earned American tax-paying dollars to go to these fools? This is what Janet Hubert was talking about because remember, she said, don't pay your taxes. She warned and she said, don't pay taxes. I'll be damned if any of my hard earned American tax-paying dollars goes to some goddamn white supremacists, Proud Boys, and Oath Keepers who sat up
Hmm.
here and smeared shit and urine all over the goddamn walls in the Capitol. So if this isn't enough to set you off and make you mad, I don't know what else will.
True.
Because keep in mind, I don't know if you've seen the most recent model of what they're planning to do. Also, 60 million of it, but 60 million of it is also going to go towards a damn UFC cage fight outside of the
Hmm.
fucking White House.
Hmm.
So, what are y'all going to do? Y'all are not mad enough. And y'all want black people, y'all want us to come and put our bodies on the line and come save when y'all got us in the shit.
Yeah.
We're not coming to save y'all because we know exactly what would happen. And I'm going to tap on the shoulders of the black ICE agents that I saw at Delaney Hall in the video. Go check my stories on Instagram. Oh, they was smiling gleefully, all of this. Let me tell you something. If Harriet Tubman was, ooh, if she was still here and we were trying to get free, Christian laughing because y'all already know. And I talked to Bubs about it too. Y'all know what Harriet Tubman would do. If she saw
Mhm.
y'all coon ass motherfuckers walking through gleefully with a smile on your face in your own people's faces, you're taking the money of the slave catcher. That's what you're doing.
Mhm.
Y'all need to be taken out to the woodshed somewhere and treated just like old Yeller. And that's exactly what Harriet Tubman would do with y'all.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, no, Harry Tubman was quick to bust her gun. That was what she did for sure. Now, Harry Tubman, she wouldn't play. I think that's part of the issue. Though. I don't know. We're in a weird climate where there's not really much. I think part of what the thing we don't really realize is that I think we've gotten to such a place in late stage capitalism in our economy, and everybody's so either focused on maintaining and growing their wealth or just trying to pay rent month to month that we've been so long on this. I mean, look, if you want to look at from the year 2000 to now, or 2006 till now, the cost of living has grown astronomically. But we've had a couple dollars here
Yes,
sprinkled on
indeed.
the minimum wage. Not even the fact of, and when you talk about stuff like a minimum wage, that's an arbitrary concept because minimum wage is is one thing, but opportunity is a second. Opportunity is everything. You can't really have a conversation about minimum wage until you get the opportunity because the first thing people will say is, well, you use minimum wage to grow a ladder. Now, we all know that there's not many places within these 50 states that you can be living off a minimum wage and have a roof over your head without some kind of assistance, without some kind of help, or without having some second, third, fourth jobs. We've all seen it. I mean, we all grew up with that. Um, and so right now, I don't feel like there's many voices speaking out about what's really going on because there's so much being thrown at us that forces us into a constant state of survival, if you will. You understand what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like we are constantly in a turtle shell trying to figure out what is the next thing that's going to happen, whether it be gas prices, war.
What
Like I have
next?
3 kids, and I'll tell you, in the last 2 years, the inflation of groceries in itself. You know what I mean? You go and you get milk. One day it's $6, next day it's 3.50. It's enough to not. You don't know what to expect. So it's very important for us to be diligent in ourselves to keep breathing and keep moving forward. Which is like going back to what I'm saying is my main focus over this last 2 years, if you will, has been to do that. Has been to control my perception of the situation. You understand what I'm saying? And not allowing all of it to become a weight that I bear because that's the design of what this is. I mean, you have to think of this. When you look at someone like when you look at a lot of the people in our government, in politics in general right now, they're they run on the con men, if you will. And so for a con man, the easiest way for a con man to operate is to operate in chaos. You create a problem and then, hey, I got you. You understand what I'm saying? So we're constantly having problems presented to us. And those of us who aren't able to keep our eyes open and keep ourselves breathing and moving forward are going to listen. But oh yeah, oh my God, you're right. Damn, I did just pay $10 for fucking steak. Exactly. Why is that? You understand what I'm saying? Why is that? So when somebody comes along, especially now when we have these, like that's what throws me off here in LA, is every ad is we fought against Trump, we fought against Trump. That's the baseline for me. You understand what I'm saying? Like you obviously, if you You have to be on the side of the right, and then we can talk about everything else. But it's just that's the entry, and then we're just kind of swimming in the bottom of the pool. So what we gonna do? We're gonna get past people that already obviously understand that we're in a regression right now. But what's your plan to move forward after that? Because if not, then somebody's gonna come along and say, look, people are this is happening. We're not seen internationally this way, and it's gonna happen again. So we gotta create. We have to create a new world to live in.
Mobilize, organize, strategize. And I'm gonna get to some of you guys' comments. I know you guys are wondering what this is, but this is my Patrick Star one size. For my ladies out there, if you want to know what makes the makeup stay on all day, that will do it. This is not a sponsor, but I just love Patrick Star. But that's I had to pull that from my beauty bag because it is hot. It's over 80 degrees down here in the Carolinas. But let me get to some of you guys' comments.
No, I
Bubs,
see right
shout outs to
here.
my
Exactly what he said right there. That's exactly what I'm saying. To overload our nervous system. If you think of it like this, I'm
flood
an
the
actor.
zone.
I'm an actor, so
Flood the zone. Remember Steve Bannon said that? Christian during the
100%. But
campaign, oh, we're going to flood the zone. Keep it going.
absolutely,
Keep us so overwhelmed and drowning in everything till it's just like our head has to be on swivel
absolutely.
24/7, as you said, survival. And that's what our people are trying to do right now. So if you're wondering where the hell black people is, we're trying to survive because y'all got us in this shit
Mm.
because you couldn't vote for a black woman that was willing to help you. And I don't want to hear nothing about both sides of the same as it pertains to Kamala because she would never do half of the shit that this motherfucker is doing right now. This is straight out of Adolf Hitler's playbook. And I'm going to show you the parallels of how regimes operate. The second layer and forces of the regime, which we're seeing right now in Delaney Hall with these ICE agents using tanks, excessive force, and pepper spraying protesters, they can go out here and unalive somebody and they will get off scotch free. The same way the gentleman who unalived Renee Nicole Good is out here still roaming around. He's out. He's in protective custody. They took him in hiding and they released him back out to go right back to do what he was doing. So this is where we're at right now. But we'll dive into the dangerous part of it later. But right now we're talking about the economical part, how they're
Well,
coming
when
from
you
your
look at
pockets, how they come.
you have to have I'll give you an example like Mondani. He's done a pretty good job, I think, of
Yes,
acknowledging the situation and the steps and the choices and the repeated sweeping under the rug of problems that have allowed our city to get into this place, have allowed our country, excuse me, to get into this place. So I think there's so much thrown at us that there's not enough people that are rising to the top with that.
right.
You know what I'm saying? With that kind of what's the word I'm trying to look for? With that kind of like uh
Mindset of
grit. You
wanting to
understand what I'm
help people
saying?
see
With that kind of fight.
Mondani
So
is
I
teach the
think that's a big
biggest.
thing also is like people we're fighting, but we're not fighting for the people. You understand? We're fighting against. We're reacting and
That
we're counterpunching. We're counterpunching. You understand? What I'm saying? One of my favorite things is boxing. We're counterpunching. We're waiting until something happens. We're throwing a punch back, as opposed to us figuring out the, this world that we live in. First of all, I think we kind of lost the sauce and lost the whole plot when we started getting into this everybody against everybody thing. Like we have genocides going on in Palestine. We have a war in Iran. We have for how many years, you know what I'm saying, like a war in Ukraine. We've got numerous genocides that we don't even have reported on, that we don't even know about in Africa. But what we have to really think about is why does that shit happen? It's not that people just want to kill each other. Nobody's ever been like, yo, I'm gonna go out and start a war right now. You know what I'm saying? Wars start because of conditions that precipitate the actions that lead to aggression, which eventually lead to a fight,
Something has
which
to
when
set it
you
off.
put right, some has to set off. And when you multiply that by population and then they develop a military, you got two forces coming together. And we got that going on all over the world. So why is it that we have this? Is because one, we're greedy. You understand what I'm saying? Like human beings, going back to like B. Walker, people realize the minimum wage is slavery with limited income. That is a trick that America has figured out is we're gonna throw this minimum wage at, we're gonna keep creeping it up. But $17 ain't shit. Like $17 in California, Los Angeles, $17. Who's gonna live off that? That's why we have this homeless problem. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll take a hey salutations.
Shout outs to my
That's
girl. Faith is the
that's
substance.
that's why we have this problem. Like I had a conversation with somebody recently about the homelessness, and a lot of these candidates are trying to clean up the homeless problem. Nobody chose.
Oh, they're
Nobody has ever chosen
all
to be
right.
homeless.
Get to
You
that
understand what I'm
point,
saying?
Christian, because
Yeah,
it is now. Didn't Taraji P. Henson, when she was at the BET Awards, she warned that it is now a crime to be homeless. You
yeah.
can't be
Listen.
homeless. What they're to do is institutionalize people.
Hmm.
How about giving them a place to go, a place
Let
to
me say,
eat, a
and,
place
and,
to live?
and, and let me say something. I have been homeless. I was homeless when I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I slept on a train, and so people have a gross misunderstanding about being unhoused and about people going through a hard time. And I'm gonna take a minute now. I want to
Exactly.
get into that because I think that's a big thing, that especially here in Los Angeles. A lot of this is being based upon that. It's to clean up the city. It's to get rid of the filth and the trash. Now, I don't really like the fact that it's calling people that are in a bad situation filth and trash, because
Filth.
specifically nobody has
Exactly.
ever chosen to be homeless. Nobody's ever made a decision. I'm gonna be destitute. I'm going to live out in the street. I'm not going to have possessions. I'm not going to have things. I'm not going to have the ability to get food for myself. I'm not going to have the ability to bathe myself. Nobody makes those decisions. We create a society that pushes people to the margins. And then a lot of those people, if you have any kind of mental illness sprinkled onto that, they are hope. There is no hope for them because we have literally turned our back to them and we don't want to see it.
Discarded to the
Yeah, we
side.
discarded
No
them to that point. So now we sitting here like, oh my gosh, there's all these homeless people. What are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? Because you can't get rid of them. That's not an option. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. These are human beings that have a value, whether we want to see it or we want to give a shit about it or not. So like we have that's one layer in a lot of our major cities, right? Secondarily, people can't eat. So you're not gonna fix the homeless problem if people can't eat and then pay the rent. So it is we are forced at times to be crabs in a pot. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to figure out how do we get out of that shit, stop trying to grab the motherfucker ahead of us and be like, how are we gonna fix this? Where we going with this? You understand what I'm saying? I think that's where we are right now in this because obviously if somebody's trying to burn down the house, you get out and you grab all the things you can, right? It's that simple. I mean that part. Like I don't I've never been a very political person myself, and I don't subscribe to the both sides of that. I think that our system is broken. Our system is flawed, and I think we have allowed it to become toxic, and people are taking advantage of that. And we got into a situation right now. We're in this situation here where people took advantage of the void and the toxicity of our political culture,
They
and the
played into
fact that the fact that we don't recognize the warts of this country, the places we've been, things we've
200.
done to the indigenous, to the entire continent of Africa, people of the continent. Like, what do we do to even going back, like you said, we're detransitioning. Why are we? It's 2000 fucking 26. Why are we worrying about things that why? I just don't understand. You understand what I'm saying? I don't.
I,
I've
can
reached
I
a point
take
in my
it?
life.
Let me take
That's
it,
it.
Christian, because I'm the trans woman in here. Let me
Yeah,
the woman over here. Let me take it.
absolutely,
Um, this is how Donald Trump won this election, based off of fear, playing into people's fear.
absolutely.
See, when you can radicalize a group of people to think the same belief that you think, that is trans people that are the reason why you lost your job. Blame a trans person. I need to call AAA. I got a busted tire on the side of the road. Blame a trans person. I can't afford food. Blame a trans person. Blame an immigrant.
Hmm.
They blamed us for every single thing, and now they're trying to label us as counterterrorism. Being in South Carolina, being a black, openly transgender woman down here, it's already a target on my back. And each and every day, there's a policy when this man gets his fat ass fingers on a pen and strikes and signs a legislation to harm me, I'm in danger. So, to anybody out here that is weaponizing Christianity, saying, well, it's against my Christian values, as my fraternal Island Yankee B Walker just said in the comments, they played into your fear. And what you're seeing right now is a group of insecure, fragile, mediocre ass white men in power, shook because we are existing out loud and openly. And they're trying to create things. I mean, it's even to the point where people who are trans who have their IDs, who have the correct thing on them, have to turn them
Hmm.
in. You want us
Hmm.
to identify as men. It's not going to happen. Because even in the prison system, because there are trans people in prison as well too, it puts them in danger as well too. So this new what y'all elected in Texas is what y'all truly believe and what y'all stand on. And as Christian just said, it was from both sides. This 250 years, this country has been built on white Christian nationalism and evangelicalism. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And I had to tear a couple people's ass up for saying, well, I'm a conservative. I don't believe in a woman having the right to her bodily autonomy. And I went Christian when I tell you I
Well,
blew a fucking
I always go
gas.
back to questions about.
Right.
It's like, all right, so what was it recently in Tennessee? They banned roots, right? So why? That's always, I don't. I make arguments simple, and I ask my question is why, and then
Why
the
does
follow.
exactly? Why are y'all fixated on less than 1% of the population? As my girl Laverne Cox said so brilliantly. We are only 1% of the population, and y'all are so fixated on us using the bathrooms. We're not harming anybody. We're existing. So why are y'all
Exactly.
so fixated on us? When the main key issue is that's keeping America divided is white Christian nationalism.
Hmm.
White supremacy as well too, because if you look back at the KKK, this is
Yeah.
exactly the beliefs that they have. They're trying to make it so that women don't vote anymore, which is why Donald Trump is so hell bent on trying to get this SAVE Act to pass. The SAVE Act is more than just saving America. What it would do is take away a woman's right to vote. Boom.
Hmm.
So that the vote is just in the household, one man, one vote for the entire household. Do y'all remember those days where black people we had to pay poll tax and take literacy tests? It's
Hmm.
no coincidence that they're doing what they're doing. This is Jim Crow 2.0. And for my city of South Carolina, I got to take an L too because like I said, I've been critical of Jim Clyburn. Jim Clyburn, you were one of the main ones out here that said, I wouldn't mind if Joe Biden pardons Donald Trump. You don't pardon a Nazi, Jim
No.
Clyburn. And now Ralph Norman, Ladybug Lindsey Graham, if she's not at Disneyland with her magic wand and her knee pads, if she's not doing that, she's out here talking about we need a $400 million ballroom. No, the hell we don't. What we need is
Mm-mm.
universal health care. What we need is for women to have their bodily autonomy. And as Christian said about minimum wage, which is what Bernie Sanders and AOC and anybody else is trying to push, we also need reparations as well too. You don't give reparations to white supremacists because white men have not been done wrong. And if you look at that, what's his name? He just put a commercial out saying, man, it's not a crime to be white. You sound just like couch fucker Vance, and you sound just like Erica Kirk. And she was rattled because Drewski portrayed her beautifully.
Hmm.
What Drewski did in that skit was turn the mirror on white Christian conservative women. You're no different than your fucking husbands. And I should have known. I said this the last time Christian was here on episode 700. I said, you can't trust no Becky. You cannot. Because they will weaponize their whiteness and their tears A white woman crying or a white person weaponizing to call the police on the black person or anything is dangerous to us. I can count off the back of my hand how many videos I have seen of y'all going out here following up what's his name that's now got he got to pay 1.25 million. I don't know, they might have took some off. Chud the Builder. You can go
Mm.
ahead and you can follow him up if you want to.
Oh yeah, no,
Now
that's
let me
over.
read some of these comments. Chud. Follow up Chud and Juck Lane if you want
Mm-hmm.
to. I'm letting you know I am 5'7", 200 pounds. I'm pretty sure you do not want these problems. Don't let my classy fashions and attitude fool you. I will gladly give you these problems.
Mm-hmm.
Black people, we are fed up and tired. And if y'all think that y'all can go out here and do what Chud is doing for clicks, likes, and views, we're chipping out. That's what he would always say. We're chipping out. Y'all have always correlated black people to apes and being filth and dirty.
Mm.
But if I say something about your white cracker redneck ass, then I'm wrong. See, I'm in the deep South. I'm in South Carolina where the heart of the Confederacy is. And we know about the Stoner Rebellion down here that happened as well, too.
Mm-hmm.
Trump won because people spoke into the insecurities and fears of trans people. Not just trans people,
Absolutely.
but immigrants. And these are the same goddamn immigrants that are doing the jobs that their sun dodging asses won't do. And I'm going to keep it brief. I'm talking fast because Christian has to go. So I'm going to make sure that I
Got to
get
get
all
my
of
kids
this
to school.
in one bite.
No, well,
I'm
that's
taking
the
a page.
second thing. I mean, well, that's the second thing.
Yeah,
So,
go ahead.
the first, I mean, this whole thing started with us with immigrants and all that. It's, I mean, look, that when you starting off with that, and
Mass
then we got nothing to talk
deportations now,
about.
Christian. Don't forget that. They held up
Huh?
signs at his rallies. Mass deportations now.
Exactly.
Y'all
I
voted
know.
for your own demise.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all thought it was just going to be the people that's coming into the country, your people too? No, he's
Yeah.
talking about your ass too. Get you on up out of here. Y'all
What's that?
can't even go and
What's the
set foot
saying?
into a home.
What's the saying? I think I said last time too. Is when they fill those cages up with them, they gonna come for you. You know what I mean?
First, they
Like
came
if
for
you,
the immigrants, but it wasn't for
yeah,
me. Then it came for another group, and then they came for another group. Y'all thought it was just going to be trans people. No, they coming for all of our asses, and including
exactly.
anybody that pushes back and trails the scent. Let's not forget. I'm gonna drill this into y'all's brains as well too. They just arrested a journalist, a notable journalist by the name of
Hmm.
whom? Let's see, Don Lemon.
Yep.
This is
Yeah.
exactly what authoritarian leaders do in other countries. Right now, we're at the bottom layer where it's forced labor, low wages, economic instability, limited access to information. They have now controlled the media. Let's not forget about the Ellis brothers, the whole Warner Brothers, Paramount mergers,
Well,
and
Ellison.
Christian
Yeah.
is in LA. He can tell you about that.
Well, I
A
mean, well,
lot
let's
of the media.
let's say for example, that's a very good point. So people
Yeah,
always ask me, talk to me about the mergers, and I'll tell you like this. I will tell you from my own personal experience. I personally have been taking a little hiatus from the business myself for the last 6 months, specifically to work on my family and do what I need to do because I wanted that to
yeah.
settle. Because see, what people have to realize is, and you know what, I would like everybody to understand this. What people don't get about the entertainment industry and the business in itself is we are always constantly trying to fend for jobs. There's a limited few who can control the budgets and the fund. And we're always trying to compete to get to that. Now, what you have to realize is when you have something like a merger, when a company buys out something as large as Warner Brothers. Now they're not buying Warner Brothers, they're buying Warner Brothers and
And
everything
Paramount.
under
Yep.
their umbrella, which is
Was
Warner Brothers, HBO Max, um, Showtime. You know what I'm saying? You have 5 or 6 different streaming channels and services and studios that fall under that banner. Now, to get into the nuts
Don't
and
forget
bolts of it,
CNN.
CNN,
CNN
well,
was
see,
one of them
one
too.
hundred, CNN is part of Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
absolutely. So CNN is almost. I'll get to that in a second, but specifically, how the merger works is this: if you have an umbrella, everything underneath that umbrella is controlled by the same entity. Now, for myself, how that used to work is I work on a show for Amazon. I shoot a show for Amazon. I have my quote that they're going to pay me. My people will take care of that quote. Now, the show comes out, a new show on Netflix comes out. They're interested in that. We can negotiate based upon what Amazon paid me for Netflix. Now, in the event that there was a merger, there is no negotiation anymore. If I did any Warner Brothers show that I did is now going to pay me the same as Netflix did because they are now under that same umbrella. So that takes all of the power out of our hands. It decreases the number of shows being made. There's also, this is part of the reason why, if you look at 5 years ago, when you watched the television show, most of these shows would be a 22 to 24 episode run for a season. Now you get 8 episodes. I hate to break it to everybody, but that is by design, and that is to control how much they pay us, to control how they can give our contract, to minimize the losses that they take at our cost. So when you talk about mergers, that it's only the only thing it does is make the powerful more powerful, make it
The
easier for
rich
them to
will
make
get
more money.
1%. These big tech corporations, and speaking of corporations, I'm pretty sure you guys just seen the most recent ruling in Delaware where a judge basically ruled that corporations can now vote in elections in
Mm.
Delaware. Elections
I
should
mean,
be up to us, the people, not
that's
corporations.
fun.
This is exactly how he won. And remember, I kept saying that. Remember the commercials? It's all propaganda. So all that ties into even with the whole Paramount Warner Brothers merger. Remember during the Super Bowl, there was commercials for what? Starlink.
Mm.
Elon Musk used his power, opened his pocketbook, and purchased a president.
Hmm.
Don't look at me like I'm crazy, y'all. Y'all know I'm
Hmm.
telling the truth. Because
Well, I
Trump
think
didn't
this
break
this
a
goes
foot.
back to what I was saying. Remember, I told you about Trump. Trump is not. We give a lot of power to Trump. Trump is a
It's the people behind him. It's the
right.
shadows.
Yes, and I think that's also what we have to think about with politics and where we're lacking is we also got to realize that we, like I said, we're also so much under attack that we're not figuring out a way to counterattack that to fight as opposed to counter. You know what I'm saying? That's got we have to figure we have to start to fight to push this fight moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like we reacted to the gas prices, what we gonna do? The voting, the redistricting. You know what I'm saying? Like we are on our back heels.
It starts with the people behind him. Remember, I kept saying the Heritage Foundation, Stephen
Hmm.
Miller, Russ Foyt. You got Paul Dance, who's running for election against Lindsey Graham down here in the Carolinas. They're all connected to the Heritage Foundation. Keep in mind how John Roberts built this up because they've been crafting the Heritage Foundation for decades. This has been going on since the 70s. How did John Roberts find out so much about African American studies and how to dismantle our history in this country? He studied it and now they're dismantling it. They're replacing statues of African American historical figures. Jesse Jackson passed away. Who do they put up on the side of the Department of Education's? I'm not even going to get Christian. Y'all know how I feel about mentioning this man's name. They put up a white supremacist on the side of the Department of Education rather than putting up a picture of Reverend Dr. Jesse Jackson. But keep in mind who's over the Department of Education. And like Christian said, it's the people behind him. Keep in mind that Linda McMahon is over the Department of Education. This bitch could not even pronounce AI. She pronounced it A1. You got RFK Jr. out here playing with snakes. I would love to see you go and try to pick up a king cobra.
Mm,
And this man is in charge of our healthcare. These are the people who are running our government. It's a whole Ebola outbreak in other countries. And you want to
mm,
tell me that America is great? As a black person, and to any other black person, we know what y'all trying to do with us. Y'all trying to take us on up out of here, but it's not working. But you put up a picture of Charlie Kirk on the side of the Department of Education. That lets us know everything we need to know right there. That America's never been great. It's been great for white people. We know what type of version of America that y'all want, and the type of America that y'all want. Do y'all remember the show Leave It to Beaver? My grandmother loves that show, by the way.
Hmm.
Y'all remember the show Leave It to Beaver? I said, Grandma, where the black people in the classroom? You know me being the woke sister at the
Hmm.
cookout with her family. I said, Grandma, where the black people? These ain't nothing but a white. I ain't seen no black people on that show. And I was teasing with my colleague Bubs the God. I showed him a picture of what the golden age would look like. Y'all have seen what the golden age looked like, right? We've had black people up in the upper echelon, but if you go back and you look at some of the photos, we're not there.
Well, I
So,
think if you look at the history of this country, aside from Reconstruction and that short period of
yep.
time, we have always black people, brown people, anybody who can be othered has always operated from the margins of this country. And I think that's a perfect example of that. During Reconstruction, things started moving forward. People had an opportunity, and then the country went on a huge backslide that we are still feeling to this day. And so this is not. I think sure that Heritage Foundation started in 1970, but I think the fact of it is this all started in 19 what 1905, 1911, when at the point of when the era of Reconstruction ended, is that we have always proven our greatness and our ability in any arena that we enter into, whether that be Michael Jordan or Jesse Owens, or you know what I mean. We can go back to the beginning of time. Even Jim Thorpe, man, was it was a black man himself. You know what I'm saying? Like we enter into a field and we excel, and that's always how it has been, black and brown people. And this is why, especially now that we got some of our people who are saying that they agree with getting rid of the deporting immigrants. That was like, when did we get into that place? You know what I'm saying? Like that makes me sick as well. It's just it's we have to remember that we can't sit by and watch another group of people be oppressed and expect like it's not going to come right back to us. And also, we have to be better people than that because we are we're the heartbeat of this country. Black people built everything that this country is and that it stands
Our
for.
ancestors,
And our
exactly.
ancestors, yeah, and then internationally, you go to South Korea right now, and I'm guaranteed you're gonna hear hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the whitest neighborhood in Europe, and you're gonna find a jazz club. You're gonna find blues music. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the streets of Rome, you're gonna find graffiti. You understand what I'm saying? Like people recognize and copy our imprint, even though they never want to give us credit for our cultural excellence.
And look where we are now. We are the culture. I'm keeping mindful of the time. But speaking of the
Mhm.
culture, this what is this event? Since we're talking about artists and artistry, Morris Day and the time you've got the
Oh yeah,
Commodores,
that.
Young
Oh,
MC. What
but
the
listen,
hell?
when you got Flow Rider and you trying to list that as your headliner, then you obviously you ain't really got nobody that wants to fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like we talking
It's just
about.
like Snoop. Remember, Snoop said, "Ain't nobody going to perform." No, Coon Dog. I call him Coon Dog. I don't call him Uncle Snoop no more. You don't earn that title from me, Uncle Snoop. Coon Dog. But he said, "Ain't nobody going to perform for the president." You know what? Let me go back to my girl Nina Simone, because y'all know I love me some Nina Simone. Nina Simone said, "The job of the artist is to reflect the times." And that is one of my favorite quotes. And I'm seeing a lot of celebrities, just like even with Christian, I'm a fashion girl. When we first met, that black evening gown, I can remember the look. I had a blonde updo, and then I had that black evening gown. Y'all know I'm a fashion girl. So for me to see Jeff Bezos and his wife back this year's Met Gala, I was like, oh, hell no. And Taraji was right. Absolutely. What the hell are y'all doing? But again, it goes back to big corporations. You as an artist, Your supporters, your fans, the ones who are spending money to come see you, we expect you to speak up and say something when you see something wrong. You have a bigger platform, much bigger platform than each and every one of us. And I know that that's not every artist's thing. But especially if you were out here stumping for Kamala saying how wrong this is, and now you're going to go and perform for a Nazi. I seen Gary
I mean,
Sins from
that's not.
Forrest Gump
It's
as well
wild.
too.
It's wild for me. It's. I mean, these people. Yeah.
My colleague Alvin made a joke, Christian, and he said this is why Lionel Richie left the Commodores. I cackled. But it's not only Morris Day and the Time and Young MC was on the lineup. You got Martina
Mhm.
McBride. I seen Millie Vanilli. Oh, and we know how y'all
Where did
got
they?
y'all
So
start.
hold on. Where they been keeping them? What freezer were they kept in?
Y'all need to go
See, this
take a
is what
look
I
at the
understand, but
flyer.
this is what I don't get. Like, this is what I don't understand about. This is what I understand though. I would not be bragging about these people on my flyer, like as if I'm doing something. You know what I mean?
And
Come see
Young
Melly
MC
Vanilli
came
and
out and
Flow
released
Rider.
a statement. Flow
What he
Rider,
said?
Young MC, let me pull up Young MC's statement because he did release a statement as well, and I sent it to
Okay.
Andre. I said, Andre, look at this. Shout outs to Andre Joseph, who will be joining me next week on the show. And we were talking about this because he
Oh,
sent it to me, and at first I'm just like,
I
this
ain't seen
can't be
Andre. I haven't
real,
seen
right?
Andre in ever.
Yes, he's coming back next week. You guys can go
Nice.
and check him out on Unfinished Business TV, Unfinished Business podcast. I'm looking for Young MC's statement because he did release a statement, and I sent it to him earlier. Where is that picture? Oh my God. I could have
You can
sworn
go
I
ahead.
sent it to him. Right here. I got it.
Well,
I got it. Here we go. Okay.
oh, all right.
I have informed my agents that I will not be performing at the Freedom 250 event. The artists were never told about any political involvement with the event. And despite the claims by the organizers that the event is nonpartisan, Spin Magazine describes it as a Trump back event. I hope to perform in DC in the near future at an event that is not so politically charged. That's a problem right there. You sound just like what's his name? Neil Patrick Harris, where he said he's going to be
Mm-hmm.
apolitical. That's the problem right there. And I cannot remember her name, but she says, I'm not into politics. Guess what? Politics is into
Yeah.
you. I'm not just a
Exactly. Like I
fashion.
say, I'm listen. I'm not. I have never been a political person, but once you
But you know how
see,
to, what I love about you, go ahead, Christian. What I love about you
well,
is that you know how,
here's the thing.
yeah,
You can't. You can. People can ask you. Don't be politics. Don't be political. Stay. Keep your politics out of it. Keep
right.
your politics to yourself. However, when your politics directly affect another person, it's not politics. It's not. That's not for the people. Politics are for the people. When your politics and your policies and your desires directly affect people's health, safety, well-being, any of that shit, then there ain't nothing to talk about. It's look, I'm a loving father. I'm a nice guy. If somebody was to put my children in danger, they would be you. What happened to them? I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's
That's
not
for,
something I play with.
and that's
So
for
so
anybody.
so but that goes across the board for me. Look, I'll say like I'll take a sample here. The other day I had somebody ask me. Somebody had the nerve to ask me about how I felt about Lupita Nyong'o playing Helen of Troy in Odyssey.
I'm gonna dive
So
into
my first
that
question was,
later.
we could get to that for sure. But my first question was like, how do you feel about a fucking Cyclops in it? And I said that because what you asking me? Like you're asking me like it's a mythological story that is being retold today by a director whose choice was to pick a beautiful woman who's culturally relevant right now. So what's the problem here? You understand what I'm saying? Like we got in a place
I
where
can
it's
tell
like
you,
that.
I know what the
So
problem
so
is. The
that's what.
problem is,
Oh, I know. I mean, 100%. I know what the problem is. We have to look when it was made before when Ridley Scott made Troy. He cast Diane Kruger, who was a blonde white woman, and that was a choice he made from that story. Now, Christopher Nolan is making that story, and him as a storyteller, he that was the vision he made of a mythological story that was told thousands of years ago that is being retold right now. So once people have that, it ain't politics if you got a problem with that. It's real simple. And I got questions for you. You understand what I'm saying? Like that's how I handle it myself. Because if you once you sit here and you say, okay, you start you're going to detransition people, you are going to start sending kids to camps for their sexual choice. You're going to tell me that if I get on a plane and the pilot is black, that I have there's a short chance that he's not as competent. That's you're just a fucking racist. They ain't no really nothing. It's not your politics. You understand what I'm saying? It's not somebody's politics. It's your shitty ass beliefs. And so, like, we got to separate that. It's the same way free speech, you are free to say anything about this government that you want. You can voice your freedom, voice your opinion about the government, about people, but you say something about me, I got two hands that I know how to use. You understand what I'm saying? And it's that simple. Your freedom of speech is free from prosecution and persecution by this government, but freedom of speech ain't never stopped somebody from an answer.
And I'm gonna add one more thing to that, Christian. And Donald Trump and the Supreme Court, the six, cannot save you from the wrath of 400 years of black people that we have inside of us. So we know exactly what you're saying when you say, "Why is Lupita
But
playing him?"
even get back to these people, a large problem is a lot of these people ain't never been punched in the face. They've never had real consequences in life. You understand that we are right now also allowing people who ain't never really been through nothing and have had a lot of golden paths and are in a world that is designed and for machinations to make them succeed are making our lives miserable. So they have we also have to realize that we know how to get in the trenches in a way that they do not understand as well. Okay, so that's a big thing when we talking about mobilization and moving forward. Like we have been through things in those 400 years that white America can't understand, can't fathom. And so once we start infighting, we start fixing point at immigrants and we pointing at people for sexual choices, for gender choices.
Right.
Then we fucked up. We lost. We're done. They're gonna bury us, and we will be a memory as far as they were black people in America. But we are this country.
Yeah, the pool outside of the listen, all of that, the ballroom, the pool, the
We got all
statue
that.
that he wants. He wants to place his face on the $250 bill. He wants to put his
Absolutely.
face on the US passport. And guess who is going to be footing the bill? Us. We are.
But let me.
Yes, he
I
is
got to
doing
leave in
all
a
of
minute.
this
But
nonsense.
can I leave this? I want to ask one question on this last point. I feel like I feel kind of strongly about why always we shouldn't have to be paying for these things either way. The worst thing about this is a scumbag has taken advantage of a broken system. So like, why when there are people we already dealing with homelessness and we got so many problems within this country? Why are we bothering? Why would it? Whether whoever's in the White House leave the shit like it is. Why? I don't understand. I just don't get why we have this. We mirror ancient Rome in a way that starts to become eerie. You know what I'm saying? We building these
Imperialism.
huge structures. Imperialism. We
Yep.
building huge structures. We putting people's faces on buildings, and we telling people you got to do this, you got to do that. And how did that end for them? We're there in our history books for a reason.
And this is my thing. This is not to help the betterment of other people. This is to help himself. Do y'all know how much
Absolutely.
Don Jr. and Eric have made, as well as Donald Trump himself? Melania, she's a grifter. She's no different. All of them have made thus far since being in the White House.
100%.
This is not to help
100%.
him. And that ballroom, that $400 million ballroom, and then I'm gonna let Christian go, and I'm gonna continue on because I'm not done yet with y'all ICE agents in Delaney Hall. I'm gonna wear y'all asses out. I couldn't do it this morning.
Well, going on ICE though, ICE. So ICE started as a result for 9/11 was to combat that from happening again. So how the fuck did we get here? What I don't understand is, and also that was 25 years ago. So that need And that process should have dissolved a long time ago. But somehow
You
it
don't
still
need
got kept along.
that.
And now we got armed people in our streets. And it's just it's wild.
I seen a game of Deshaun. I'm gonna get to all of your comments in a minute. I'm gonna hold off because I'm gonna really let loose on these black ice agents when Christian leaves. The rest of the stuff we couldn't talk about it because Christian got to go. We on a time crunch. But next week, now's the time
Oh,
we're
oh,
gonna
but
join.
you know what? And that's it right there. Deshaun said it right there. A lot of so here's I don't know about if FC dead or not, but I do know this. We've had this situation, and for whatever reason, every time it gets close to any kind of resolution or conclusion, it's some big incident. We went to war. You know what I'm saying? We had like all those ICE agents started getting mobilized and killing people the first time this F-35
Distraction,
was mentioned. Yeah,
ladies and
all of that. So
gentlemen.
it's always a distraction. Once again, when you talking about a con
Distraction.
man, you also have to realize what con men do. When a con man is trying to steal money out your pocket, his partner is over there pooping in a corner. So you're looking at the homeless person like, what the hell is going on? And you lose your wallet. So we can't fall into that trap. That's what's going on.
Brainwash the next generation of white folks. That it's called indoctrination, Deshaun. It's called
Absolutely.
indoctrination. The same way
But listen,
Jim Jones.
this has been a blast. We're gonna during the summer. Let's do it because I got all day during the summer. I just gotta get these kids out of school
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to hit you
for
back
sure.
up with a time so that we can do this during the summer. But I'm going to
Absolutely,
dive into everything. I'm gonna talk about indoctrination. But y'all, Christian, let
absolutely.
everyone know where they can follow you at. I wish we could have did it longer, but next week, now's the time
But
of you joining me.
next
My
time
new
we'll talk all day. So you can follow my Instagram. It's one Mr. Barber. Um, I got some new things coming out in towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. So once I get a little solidified on that, I'll let you know. But follow me on Instagram, and it was a blast. Thank you, everybody.
You are so welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Award-winning actor and dear friend of Style by Stevie, Christian Barber. Now, let me get to some of you guys' comments. Y'all make sure y'all go and follow Christian and check out some of our past conversations. Oh, hello, lighting. Hello. Get into this melanin over here. Do y'all see it? Okay. Let me fix my hair a little bit. Now, let me get to the Sean's comments because he was typing away. Some of them are no ones, I'm telling you. It's called royalty. It's called indoctrination. That's what it's called. And what's going on is you're going to see a lot of white people who are falling right into the Donald Trump Kool-Aid, thinking that this is okay, that this is how America should be ran. And Deshaun sent me something saying now we're all going to have to assimilate. Who's going to assimilate? I'm not assimilating to a fuck ass thing. If anything, and another thing I want to talk about as well too is these black ICE agents in Delaney Hall who were walking out smiling gleefully like this is okay. It's not okay. It's because we know too much. Exactly. Black people know too much. But I'm going to dive a little bit deeper with y'all. Let's talk about it. How fascism and governments are being built. Let's talk about that. Let me pull this up. Let me see if I can pull it up. Okay, state controlled institutions. Okay, state controlled institutions. For those of you who are wondering how fascism works, state aligned media, corporations, and officials, as me and Christian just talked about. Remember the merger, Paramount, Warner Brothers merger? Well, with that, what you're going to see is even with CNN, remember Abby Phillip got up there and she refused to correct the person. She corrected Bakari Sellers. State aligned media corporations and officials legitimizes the regime, enforces laws that criminalize, as Deshaun just said, opposition, manipulates education and information, They want to be able to put their history out there. Overall, the real true history of this country, which is Black people, we built this country. We were the ones who were being fed to alligators and eaten for delicacy. The real, raw, true history of this country. Methods of control, information, corporate favoritism, censorship, lawfare. For those of you who do not know, why am I doing my shows on YouTube? Instagram placed me in Instagram jail for a year. I won't be able to broadcast or go live on there until November 14th, 2026, when that restriction is lifted. Stopped me from monetizing, but my monetization is restored on Instagram. I just can't go live on there because I said Megan Kelly can go and fuck herself. And I stand 10 toes down on that. She's a racist. She came for Beyonce. She came for Jasmine Crockett. She came for Michelle Obama in a discussion. And I make no apologies about what I said. Now she's all of a sudden realized Donald Trump has been bad when you were literally the same bitch that said that you would vote for Donald Trump. You don't care if he burns down the whole country. What's happening right now? Why would I want to bring them into my taking away chemotherapy, HIV medications, medicines, sickle cell, all of the things that help people, and you want to take them away? But see, this is not making America great again or healthy again. It's making America sick again. Go and check out my interview that I did with Fairy Puss, Bree Star, right here. We touched on that. So everything you're saying, Deshaun, we've already touched on. At this point, I'm like this, filing my nails, because I've already touched on it. And if y'all think that y'all are going to get queer people to assimilate to a fuck ass thing, you can kiss the blackest part of my chocolate big fat ass. What's next? Let's see what else they're going to try to do. Enforcers of the regime. The layer includes authoritarian bureaucrats, military officers, parliamentarian off forces. What are we seeing right now with them controlling the streets in Delaney Hall in Newark, New Jersey? Do y'all not know what's going on? How they're using these big ass trucks to assault protesters? And we got people who look like us, our color, black people who are out here working with ICE agents. And they're smiling. Shame on you. No, anything for a paycheck. Not all money is good money. But y'all decided to go on ahead and take the money. If you would have just hung in there a little bit longer, this is the perfect time for a general strike. Slow roasting all of those Republicans. Yeah, Megan Kelly, Donald Trump, the Attorney General Todd Blanche, which is the reason why we're not seeing the goddamn Epstein files, because Donald Trump's name is mentioned in the bitch 3,500 times. But let's go back. This is enforcers of the regime. Remember, Hitler had his Gestapo, the secret police. Some of them are probably Proud Boys and Oath Keepers. Executes and enforces the leader's will. And what did Todd Blanche or Mark Wayne Mullen, who is the head of DHS now since they let go of Christy Nome, her husband was playing with his mangoes? Yes. We saw the photos, Christy. We never gonna let you ride that off, honey. But this is the thing. If you go and you look at his cabinet, it's nothing but unqualified white men and women who are loyal to Donald Trump. There's no coincidence that this man keeps talking about a $400 million ballroom that our hard earned tax-paying dollars will go and fund. Donald Trump is going to build a bunker underneath. Here's the plan. Come elections, 2026 to 2026 election, here's the plan. Listen to me carefully. Don't say I didn't warn you. Donald Trump is going to build this 400 grand $1 million ballroom. He's going to have a bunker underneath underneath. And what's going to happen is Donald Trump is going to go in that bunker, lock himself in that bunker, and not come out. He's going to remain president. This is how empires are built. This is exactly how fascism rises. And as we can see right now, the way they're moving, this is how they're rising. Why do you think they're not just redistricting and gerrymandering for a reason? Heavily black districts. Tell me I'm lying. I don't want to see any more trends exist. Let's talk about the ones who are out here attacking our girl T.S. Madison as well too. Let me say this once and for all. Trans people, we are not your goddamn enemy. Maybe you're doing something wrong. Maybe that's why your husbands and your boyfriends come to us, because you're not doing it right. Y'all are so fixated on us. Again, we're not the reason why your gas prices are going up. We're not the reason why you've lost your job. We're not the reason why you've been unable to afford groceries. But see, you got to blame somebody. Blame a trans person, less than 1% of the population. It's all bullshit. And I'm not going to stop calling out the bullshit. And to Lindsey Graham from my city of South Carolina, I want to tap on your shoulder for a little bit. You said that we want to name we should name the Nobel Peace Prize the Trump Prize. What has he done that's been so noble, other than spark off a war with a country that we didn't ask for, that we are drowning in $1 billion of debt because his ass wants to continue to get resources from other countries and enrich himself. This is not for the American people. This is for himself. Let's be very clear. Shit. I done went over an hour in this bitch. Spam them likes and make sure y'all share this live out there with somebody. Y'all done got me fired up now. What's the next phase of authoritarianism and how it rises? I'm going to keep going. A small group of oligarchs sit at the peak of the pyramid, meaning they're 1%, the Elon Musk of the world, meaning the Peter Thiels. Oh, by the way, they're watching us. That means me, any other creator, or anybody who crushes or speaks back and pushes back against this tyrannical government. They're watching each and every one of us. Palantir, which is a surveillance company. Mm-hmm. Anything you do, any move you make, any step you take, they're watching. Let me talk to Kevin Hart for a minute. The George Floyd, the Netflix special. Let's keep in mind that Netflix is the same company that Monique had to definitely check and let them know, hey, I'm worth much more than this. Pay me what I'm worth. I wouldn't be surprised at Kevin Hart. And for Steven Jackson to sit up here and say, well, I'm not hey, that's my friend. Motherfucker that sat up in Madison Square Garden and called Puerto Rico a floating pile of garbage. That's who Tony Hinchcliffe is, if you're wondering. His jokes were not funny. The George Floyd joke was not funny. And Kevin Hart, you should be canceled. I'm surprised that your midget ass is still able to get into these spaces. So when people call you a gatekeeper, now I'm seeing what by that. It wasn't funny. There's nothing funny about a black person having a knee on their neck for 9 minutes and 30 seconds. We all saw the video. Midget, I want to see one of y'all come out here and try to defend this joke because I didn't find it funny. I want to talk to the people out here that are saying that are trans people and everybody else. Homegirl who made the video about T.S. Madison. I want to talk to you for a minute. I want to tug on your rotund ass. I don't like body shaming nobody. But bitch, you asked for it. You got your nerve to sit up here and talk about T.S. Madison's body. And keep in mind, some of y'all cishet bitches are the same bitches that go out here and get gender affirming care. What is it? Y'all want a BBL? That's affirming care, bitch. You get your boobies done. Anything else, that is affirming care. You are affirming yourself because you want to change something about yourself. And I'm not talking to all biological women, but I'm talking to the women who think like the Tasha Kays of the world, who think like the Tokyo Tonys of the world, and so many others who are transphobic, who just want queer people to go away and go back into the closet. Guess what? Here, we're not going a motherfucking place. My existence is not a threat to you. You're mad because your man is watching. I hate transphobia, I hate homophobia, and I hate having to get like this, but somebody needs to call it for what it is. Y'all are obsessed with finding out, oh, my man DL, my man. I don't know about my man being on the D. You know, if he is, then what? What you gonna do about it? He my man too. He's community man. He Bubs man. He everybody man. What you gonna do about it? Let me take my sip of this water in this bitch. The queen should never have to get off of her throne and address people like that. And I'm the queen, bitch. But this is what we got to deal with, the onslaught that continues amongst our people, black people. Are you talking about that black coon that what's his name? Is that who you're talking about, Deshaun? Fuck his coon nigger ass too. Because when they done disposing you the same way they did with Herman Cain, Rob Smith online, fuck that coon. And I said what I said. I don't fuck with you. You a jigaboo. Rob Smith online. And now Candace Owens want to sit down and do interviews with Hunter Biden. Candace, here's one thing you can do with the Black collective to make it right with us, boo. How about you apologize to Black people for saying that we're exaggerating things, that racism is made up, all of these things. Shout outs to my best friend, my girl, Felicia Grant. Y'all, show her some love. Shout outs to my sister. We talk every day. And she will tell y'all the same thing that y'all getting on Style by Stevie. She is my friend in real life, real life. That's my girl. That's my sis. So y'all show her some love in the comments. Tag her. Girl, I can't believe I'm still on this long. I'm gonna have to tell you, I was going off a few minutes ago. But she will tell you when I'm passionate about something, I go off like this. And we just talked about this the other day about Homegirl coming for T.S. Madison like that. But I want to talk to the Black MAGA voters out here that think that this shit is cool. It's not okay that you're selling out your own people. But you see, this is what Alvin was talking about. You give a ninja something, he'll sell them out for molasses. And that's exactly what's going on right now. Why am I seeing people that look like me work with white supremacists? Why am I seeing people that look like me work with ICE in Delaney Hall? Not all money is good money. Take another job somewhere else. Don't do that kind of job. Because trust and believe, when it all falls down, when this empire comes crumbling down, y'all will be held to a higher standard and accountable. Trust and believe, Nuremberg trials. Now, do we have any more questions before I hop on up off of here and go get me some pepperoni pizza? I think I just about covered everything. But yeah, make sure y'all are following me on Instagram, style by Stevie underscore daytime. Make sure that you're following me. I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. Do we have anything else? But fuck Rob Smith and fuck Candace Owens. And I said what I said. And to the young lady that decided to come for T.S. Madison, fuck her too. And I said what I said. I'm not apologizing on that. Now you can take that and put it in your pipe and smoke it. And to quote Mama D from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, smoke a straight shoe, bitch. Fuck Candace Owens. Fuck that bitch. Go perm your hair or something. And I said what I said. I don't care. Oh, well, Miss Stevie, you need to stop cursing. You need to stop talking like this. When people make me mad, I cuss. Ask my girlfriend, Felicia. She'll tell you. I can't stand no coons. I can't stand a jigaboo, and I can't stand a sellout. But shit, I think we done just about. I can't go no further. I think we done just about covered it all. Got to save some for next week because next week, y'all are in for a treat. Now's the time is going to be joining me back on the show. And I know y'all love Now's the Time. He's going to be joining me. We have Andre Joseph. So you're getting two political conversations next week. Andre Joseph, yes, we'll be back. And my colleague, Now's the Time. Dreadlocks, yes, he'll be back Friday, June 5th. Stay tuned for that. Any other thoughts? Any other cases y'all want me to try? Fashion dolls. Because I think I just broke it down how fascism works, how empires are built. I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. A bitch gotta eat. So I'm about to get on up off of here and go get me some pepperoni pizza or something. But in the meantime, y'all know what to do. Stay woke, stay vigilant, and I will see y'all tomorrow with Just Us Hightower. Keep this on replay, watch it over and over again, get you some kicks and shits and giggles out of it because Lord knows I feel so much better with getting it off of my chest. Yeah, Candace Owens regretting it. And now for her to apologize to Hunter Biden, that was sweet and kind. But Candace, in order to win people back, because we see a lot of y'all on the right, especially Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's still racist. She still hasn't changed. I'm not welcoming a fuck ass thing over here. If you voted along with Donald Trump to hurt my existence and my people, black people, I can't fuck with you. Now, my colleague Bubs the God, I don't know if Bubs is still here, he's editing. He'll run toe to toe with you. I'm not going to debate you. I'm going to curse you out and move square the fuck on. So don't let me know if you're a Republican or conservative over here, because I'm going to eat you up for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm going to discipline you the same way your mother should discipline you. I'm going to spank you the same way your mother should have spanked you. So come on. To any conservative out here who will try to spin it and try to get back into good graces, no, you're complicit, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You're complicit, Candace Owens. You're complicit, Rob Smith. And to any other black conservative that's out here still shucking and jiving, like a Wesley Hunt, like a Tim Scott from my city of South Carolina, who will say Jim Crow and racism is done. No, it isn't. Talk to your white counterparts who are also Republicans, who are doing what they're doing right now because they are losing power. They're redistricting left and right. Now there are talks that they're trying to get ballot machines or voting machines. What are y'all gonna try to do with those? I can give you one or two guesses. They're gonna rig the 2026 midterms, y'all. So be prepared for the shit and shenanigans. Is coming. Make sure you're registered to vote. If you are not, go to iwillvote.org. Make sure that you're registered. Check your registration because they purged voters off of the rolls back in 2024. They set ballot boxes on fire. I need y'all to wake up and pay attention and listen to me now more than ever. It's getting down to the wire. And the more they keep losing, we keep voting back, the more unrattled and dangerous Donald Trump becomes by the day. This is serious shit. This ain't a game. They're not playing by the rules. So that means we don't need to play by the rules. Shout outs to my brother K Tukes, host of the K Tuke Spot. Make sure y'all head on over and go subscribe to his channel. We have a collaboration coming up. And also go and check out his interview that he did with Bubs, which was a dope interview. Love them both. Love being my family. Shout outs to my family out in here. Everybody, I appreciate y'all so much. This was a great show. Check it out from beginning to end. And as I said, it's up from here with Republicans. Don't let me know that you are conservative. Because Bubs is going to go for the kneecaps, I'm going to go for your whole jugular. I'm a Scorpio. Y'all keep forgetting that. I'm beautiful, but I'm dangerous. And dangerous in an extent to fact checking you with facts, proof, and receipts. And I'm not just popping shit. But with these right here, these conservatives, you got to fact check them with facts every time. Bub said a femme fatale that y'all, hey, facts, proofs, and receipts. And crushing Republicans in debates is lethal. I love it. These white supremacists are evil and they won't let you have anything. Oh, well, guess what? We're not gonna let y'all have anything. Don't ask black people for shit. Don't ask where black people at. We rest in minding our business, regrouping and organizing and mobilizing within our community. That's where black people are. And I seen the video of the young lady saying, "Where's black women minding our goddamn business?" I'm over here getting my bikini waxed, my legs waxed, my hair and nails done, minding my black business. That's what I'm doing. You should try it sometimes. But oops, you can't because you voted to get us in this shit. White women, especially Cold Pink, and y'all that would never Kamala, Amanda Seals, I'm going to tap on your shoulder for a minute. Y'all out here defending Cheyenne Bryant, and she's out here being queer phobic to Torrey. That's cool? No, it's not cool. I'm going to tap on my girl Angelica Ross's shoulder as well, too. Angelica, you were also into that Never Kamala, right along with Jill Stein, uncommitted Palestine Gaza movement. Y'all all are complicit to why Donald Trump got reelected. And you had the audacity to come for politics by Tabitha, Amanda. Then you came for Jasmine Crockett. Then you came for Kamala. I can let you know right now, Kamala would never do half of the shit that this orange piggy is doing right now. And this motherfucker is talking about an 8th, ninth, or 10th term. No, he looks like he's in his 8th, ninth, and 10th trimester. You got to put your goddamn pants up over your navel as you stand up at that window with your pork belly protruding over your goddamn pants. And you want to tell us that you are getting younger. It's the curious case of Donald Trump, not the curious case of Benjamin Button. I'm 32 years old, and y'all have seen me without makeup. I look the same as I did in high school. So to all of these celebrities out here that were, oh, well, I'm not going to vote for Kamala. I'm uncommitted. I'm a part of the Palestine Gaza movement. And Cornel West literally led a movement to saying, I'm not with her. Amanda, you were complicit into that, sis. So I think the best thing for you to do is be quiet. If you are not saying anything about how we can tackle this white supremacy and push back against fascism and authoritarianism, your best advice is to shut up. I ain't trying to hear your opinion right now. All of the being nice, out the window for the birds. You can cover a rose in shit and say the rose just smells like a regular rose, but the rose at the end of the day will still be covered in shit. And that's what he did with y'all. He blamed everything on us, the trans people, weaponized transphobia. And then he blamed the immigrants as well, too. I'd love to see y'all go out there in this scorching hot 80-degree weather or this 100-degree weather and pick those goddamn potatoes and crops. I'd love to see y'all sun dodging asses do it. No sunblock. Roses really smelling. It's the truth. It's the truth. It really is. Like, how you gonna cover it up in that and say it's a rose and then give it to us? We see right through y'all's lies. Like, really? I mean, come on. We see right through it. But I think I done did enough roasting for the day. Let this be a good show for y'all, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. Is there anybody who has any questions on what to do? All of the horror DVDs I got, yeah, and I got a bunch of them too. Which reminds me, for my ladies, to my trans sisters, the dolls, make sure that you are protecting yourself. My colleague Bubs the God had to wake me up and say, hey, you're in South Carolina, you need to protect yourself. Make sure that you're protecting yourselves because they are coming for each and every one of us. No matter if you're in a blue state, no matter if you're in a red state. Yeah, they're coming for us. And to any queer person, as Deshaun said, I know a lot of queer people have concerns as well too. Listen, the best advice is to get you a Gladys. Carry you something around in your crossbody bag or on you because Pride Month is coming up, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some Donald Trump supporters out here that's going to try you. And I'm letting you know right now, with every fiber of my being, you're going to get your ass whipped. Ask my girlfriend Felicia. She's somewhere in the comments. She know I don't play. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story before I close out. When I was in school, I was teased a lot. I was picked on. And Felicia, I think she was sitting with me. One of my girlfriend, we went to school together. So there was this football player, and he was 6 foot something. Imagine me, 5'7" now, and I'm sitting at the table with my friends, and all the other football players, they could figure out that I was gay or in the queer community. They pointed and they just kind of laughed and snickered. I got up from that table, and this was me. Went up and I said something funny, and I just gave them a look like that, and I was standing there tapping my foot, and it was just like, "Oh no, no, no!" When I give you that look, that means business. So that entire senior year, he didn't fuck with me. He didn't say nothing. None of the football players did. They didn't play with me at all. They like to tease queer children. So I see what Deshaun is saying. I was one of those kids that was teased. She's there. Felicia will tell you. I didn't play none of that when we were going to school. She will tell you that is my real friend. In real life, y'all, we talk on the phone every day and everything. That is my girl. So she knows me. Bubs, y'all, she will tell y'all. I don't play those type of things. I don't. I don't care how big you were. I'm 5'7" and I'm going to stand up to you. And my advice to any queer person out there would be arm yourselves, protect yourselves. We're in a different age and a different time. Pride Month is about to be coming up. And I'm pretty sure y'all have seen my colleague Bubs the God. Bubs the God has an old armory over there where he's at in Michigan. No, he's in Indiana now, but he has a whole armory. And y'all have seen what our girl T.S. Madison is putting down. Y'all know Maddie is carrying the heat. So I suggest y'all please try her if you want to. And you don't know what I got over here. I'm a mystery. So it's like pick your poison. You want Maddie, Bubs, or Miss Stevie. Or I do you one better yet. My other colleague, Conscious TV. I dare you. Queer people, we are not playing. You will get your ass whipped. And we will ask, and we will take names later. We will put belt to ass and we will take names later. And my girl Felicia will tell y'all the same thing that she saw in high school is the same thing that's still going on right now in 32 years of living. I haven't changed. So I love a challenge. Come on with it to any MAGA supporter. Get in my comments or get in Bubs' comments. Better yet, Bubs is going to troll you back and forth. Me, I'm going to curse you out and I'm going to be like, if you don't get your cracker coon ass on up out of here, that's what I'm going to say to you. So now that we've established that, in a discussion, in conclusion, leave black people alone these next few years. We got to go through this mess. Just leave black people alone. So without further ado, I hope y'all enjoyed today's hour-long extended show. I had so much I needed to get off of my chest, and I feel so much better. And I'm going to text my girlfriend, Felicia. Y'all show her some love in the comments, too. And as a matter of fact, let me mod my girl up. But yes, and my Island Yankee was in here. I had a blast with y'all. I had a good time. And I hope that y'all enjoyed today's show. Um, Definitely stay tuned for my colleague, Bubs the God. Y'all need to be going and checking out Blaming on the Dress Part 1. I'm pretty sure he's going to be working on Blaming on the Dress Part 2. Um, my other colleague, Conscious TV, King Jives, all of us, we all run within the same circle. So y'all make sure that y'all are going and supporting each and every one of us more than ever. Style by Stevie, season 21, January 1st, 2027. We're back. So an all new season, everything. But that's the date. Stay on it. Stay woke. Stay vigilant. I love y'all all, fashion dolls. And without further ado, y'all be safe. Stay aware to what's going on. Make sure that you're registered to vote. Get out and vote early voting in South Carolina for the primaries. Make sure that y'all are participating in that. Check your voter registration and much more. And a very special thank you to Christian Barber for coming on, giving us some amazing commentary and perspective. I hope y'all enjoyed today's show. Tomorrow we got Just Hightower. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow. Have your reminder set at 4. I love y'all, fashion dolls. Y'all take care. Be easy. Until next time. Bye.